Deadpool and Wolverine, directed by Shawn Levy, whose previous films include The Adam Project and Free Guy, is the third installment in the Deadpool franchise and the first in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Having been rejected from the Avengers and splitting from his partner, the film finds a despondent Deadpool hanging up his costume and katanas and enduring a dead-end job as a car salesman. That is until mass militants kidnap him and take him to the Time Variance Authority, an inter-universal bureaucracy tasked with maintaining order in the multiverse. Here it is revealed that Deadpool will be transported to the main Marvel universe where he can finally join the Avengers. His enthusiasm is quickly dispelled, however, when it is disclosed that his own universe will be destroyed in turn, following the death of its anchor being, Wolverine. Determined to protect the people he cares for, Deadpool sets off in search of a replacement Wolverine from a different universe to save his own from annihilation. The film sees Ryan Reynolds return as the titular hero, the merc with a mouth and a penchant for inflicting humorous ends upon his enemies. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, the beclawed anti-hero who reluctantly joins Deadpool in his quest. Macfayden as Mr. Paradox, a TVA bigwig with a hidden agenda. And Corrin as Cassandra Nova, the seldom seen sadistic sister of the absent Professor Charles Xavier. Shawn Levy knows what the fans want from a Deadpool sequel, and he provides. The action is bloodier, the quips more meta, and the humour more crass. Levy has taken what worked in previous films and dialed up to 11 here. The problem being that sometimes what you want isn't always what you need, and here what we need is a reason to care about the characters. Levy is all levity and little gravity, all pleasure and no pain, all comedy and fleeting tragedy. The ending result is a movie that wants you to relate to Deadpool's struggle, but expends minimal effort ensuring you do. And though this does allow the film to get to the good stuff, the payoff pays little more than lip service to pathos in this picture. As for the titular leads, Reynolds and Jackman provide exactly the performances you'd expect from them at this point. It's difficult to imagine that the role is difficult for Reynolds as, minus the gratuitous violence, Deadpool and he are pretty much one and the same. Jackman, for his part, revives the jaded anti-hero from Logan, only this time with less backstory to endear him to the audience. And for the supporting cast, Macfayden's Mr. Paradox is Tom Wambsgans in space, with all the neuroticism you've come to expect from 4 seasons of Succession. And Corrin's performance is less menacing than it is gruesome comic relief. If there's one thing that can be said about Deadpool and Wolverine, it's that it's violent, and the fight choreography ensures that the violence ratchets up rather than flounders. There is enough differentiation between the fights to make each one memorable, and that is arguably the best aspect of the film. These scenes are served well by more impressive CGI than in previous entries in the franchise, and it's easy to believe that the characters exist in a real-world setting rather than on a soundstage. However, the central conceit is where the film begins to fall apart at the seams. It relies heavily upon exposition to instill empathy in the audience. We are told that Deadpool is working to save the people he loves, but those people have hardly any screen time, so it's difficult to relate. We're told that Wolverine has done terrible things in the past that prevent him from helping others, so it's difficult to sympathise. We're told that Cassandra Nova can be reasoned with by appealing to her sense of familial love for her brother, Charles Xavier, but we've never seen them together, so it's difficult to believe. The issues of exposition are of course identified by the fourth wall breaking Deadpool, but the problem being that acknowledging the issues doesn't resolve them. This is further highlighted when Deadpool reminds the audience of the problems with multiverse movies, only for the film to play out every one of those tropes. It's a film filled with gratuitous cameos and meaningless deaths, and the end result is a lack of engagement on an emotional level. The uncomfortable truth is that the movie doesn't really care about these aspects. They are there only to platform Deadpool's humour, and there is plenty of that. In fact, no scene, no matter how solemn, is allowed to pass without a quip from the merc with the mouth. This would be no bad thing if the movie didn't ask that you also care about the characters on a human level. If they had committed fully to the comedy and dispensed with the pathos altogether, then it would be easier to get on board. Instead, the flaws in the film are needlessly highlighted by its subservience to trying to elevate it to a movie with heart. There is plenty to like about Deadpool and Wolverine. Ignoring their first union, fans of these two characters will no doubt enjoy seeing them united on the big screen for this outing, and the direction does a serviceable job at making this dream of fans a reality. However, there are issues with the film. The jokes are constant, no matter the emotionality, making the movie the Ryan Reynolds show as opposed to a story that needed telling, which ultimately makes for dispassionate viewing. Despite this, it is the very issues with the film which are going to be the draw for the die-hard Deadpool fans. The movie leans into what made the previous two entries so successful. More violence, more humour, more meta. This will be a problem for some, but an asset to others. As with so many sequels, your appreciation of what came before will likely colour your experience here. There is no doubt that many fans of the franchise will hail this as the best of the three. To the credit of Reynolds and Levy, they know their audience, and when filmmakers far too often ignore the fandom, there is something refreshing about creatives giving the people what they want. Furthermore, if you're more of a fan of the MCU than Deadpool specifically, the endless cameos and callbacks to previous entries in that multi-movie saga will make for an entertaining ride. However, if the issues of the Deadpool franchise have irked you in the past, then this movie will do little to change your mind. The movie makes no bones about what it is and doesn't change a thing. If you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, please comment below and let me know what you thought of the film. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to help this channel grow.